classified M. It may contain coarse language, sexual references, and adult themes.
Welcome to Tonightly. My name is Tom Ballard. Thank you for joining us. Great crowd in tonight. Great crowd. Got some real freaks in, I'll tell you that much. Love them. Hey, awesome show for you tonight. We've got an amazing guest. Ireland's foremost drag queen and gay rights activist, Panti Bliss, is going to be here, everyone. She's very cool. She's in the country performing at the moment. She played a big part in Ireland's same-sex marriage referendum in 2015. It's going to be great to talk to her about that. Plus, she could give me a few tips on how to do drag. I've tried it before. This is my attempt in 2014. I got to co-host SBS's coverage of the Sydney Mardi Gras. There you go, everyone. Erections away, please, fellas. Try to control yourselves. First up, though, some news. Nick Kyrgios is through to the third round of the Australian Open. Do we care? Not really. I've always been a huge fan of Nick Kyrgios ever since he won. He and I actually have a lot in common. We're both elite performers at the top of our game. Shut up. And we both get heckled.
An unruly fan has been ejected from Nick Kyrgios' Australian Open second round win after a bizarre screaming outburst.
And it did begin with that heckler in the crowd, that young man by the name of Jamie Zhu, apparently a wannabe social media star who has stood up midway through the match and started screaming into his mobile phone. It has clearly distracted the players. And
yeah, you think it's a distraction? Oh! For his part, wannabe social media star Jamie Zhu thinks the video, which he's called Sex Noise at the Australian Open, was the greatest thing he's ever done in his life. And I believe him, because I've looked at his other videos.
My mum thinks I'm gay. Yeah. So, actually, I was wondering if you could help me prove her wrong.
What are you going to do, fuck in front of your mum? What's wrong with you, bro? This guy's the worst. He's a disgrace. He's a creep. At least that's what I thought, until I realised he has 1.9 million Facebook fans, which is 20 times more than ABC Comedy's page. So I guess Tonightly's going to have to go in a new strategic direction and bring you some new great viral content like Sex Noise at Q&A. Sex Noise at the Australian Parliament.
Never passed.
Sex Noise at the Vatican. We've only got 4 more, guys. No. My favourite one of all, Sex Noise at the Australian Open. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Oh. Just a joy. I'm sure you remember this. Hawaii had a missile threat, false alarm the other day. It was crazy, it was panic, there was chaos, and there was, of course, pornography. The website Pornhub, friend of the show, they've released data showing a massive spike in traffic to their site after the false alarm ended. So to the people of Hawaii who looked death in the face and then logged into Pornhub, I say you are heroes. They actually released this chart to show what happened, OK? The black line in the middle, that represents the average number of visits to the site on your regular Saturday. Now, 16 minutes after the all clear had been given, usage spiked 48%. Why not? You got to celebrate. But this is the bit I find fascinating. While Hawaii was on missile alert, OK, visits to Pornhub dropped 77%. Usage dropped 77%, not 100%. Which proves that even though people believed a missile was on its way to kill them all, they were still staying on Pornhub. If there had been a missile that arrived, imagine the interesting shadows those people would have left Hey, they died doing what they loved. Themselves. Is this what people do during tragedies? Like on the Titanic as it was going down, was someone knocking on the door going, "Captain, the ship's going down. Just a minute." Oh! When the Hindenburg was on fire with the two dudes going, "There's still time, there's still time." On 9/11, if you're in the second tower... No, OK, that's not... Too soon. OK, good to know. Here's some news for all you cleaning product freaks out there.
A government watchdog is expressing concern over the dangerous misuse of laundry detergent. In this latest social media fad, teenagers are putting detergent pods in their mouths.
For God's sakes! What are they doing?
It seems pretty obvious that you shouldn't put this round cube of soap in your mouth, but for some reason, social media is blowing up with videos of people taking the Tide Pod challenge.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, it tastes disgusting! Who could have seen that coming? So what are we up to now? We've had the Ice Bucket Challenge. That was actually raising money for a good cause, at least. Then you have the Cinnamon Challenge, bit of harmless fun. Now the Tide Pod Challenge, where people film themselves eating poison! And now people are freaking out. They're worried about the risks of the challenge. But look, if we lose someone who intentionally ate laundry detergent, we're not losing a Nobel Prize winner, OK? That's all I'm saying. To their credit, YouTube announced today they're taking down Tide Pod videos, but things have become so dire, Tide even turned to their spokesperson, an NFL star, Rob Gronkowski, to record this special PSA.
No. What the heck is going on, people? Use Tide Pods for washing, not eating. Do not eat.
What the fuck is happening? We now live in a world where a man who's taken brutal head knocks for 20 years has to remind people not to eat detergent. Still a lot of talk about the Australia Day, the old Australia Day. Caused a lot of controversy. A week today, on this very show, we're going to be talking all things January 26th, OK? Please, join us if you can to cry/laugh, mourn/celebrate, or protest, eat a sausage ahead of Invasion/Australia Day in the tonightly Invasionia Day special. Invasionia Day, guaranteed to fix nothing. Now, on that same day, the ABC will be covering the 2018 Australian of the Year Awards. Awards that I consider to be bullshit because they've snubbed me once again for the 28th year in a row. One year I want them to give me the Australian of the Year. Just to me, Tom Ballard, a gay, atheist, vegetarian, millennial comedian who works at the ABC, just to see what the front page of the Australian will be the next day. I think they go with, "Australia is dead, we blame safe schools." So, the ABC, they're promoting the coverage of the Australian of the Year Awards, right, with radio spots that sound a little something like this.
How do you take a stand and protect the people of your community? To use your voice while in grief and say enough is enough? How do you advocate for your comrades to spread the word of giving and understanding? The Australian of the Year Awards. Watch or listen live January 25.
Now, did we hear all that? Do we hear the secret evil left-wing communist agenda there? In that piece of audio? Can we hear that one line again, please?
How do you advocate for your comrades to spread the word of giving and understanding?
Aha! How do you advocate for your comrades to spread the word of giving and comrades? As in communist comrades? That's as high as I can go. I am outraged by this. And if you think it's ridiculous for someone to be outraged by the passing use of the word comrade in an ABC radio promo, if you think that's a stupid thing to care about and that only a stupid, dumb idiot with too much time on his hands will get outraged by this, allow me to introduce you to the Courier Mail's Des Houghton. Does he look like a stupid, dumb idiot? Didn't think so. Des was on it. He picked up on this travesty, writing yesterday that because of the use of the term, the ABC has been slammed and accused of cultural Marxism. By whom, you ask? Why, a handful of people. For his piece, Des Houghton talked to a wide range of conservative white men. From Jared Henderson, seen here standing alone in the corner at a party, to Australian Conservative Senator Cory Bernardi, seen here being caught doing something naughty while reading a book about Margaret Thatcher, to Nationals MP George Christensen, seen here being such a good boy. Now, Henderson told Houghton that comrade is an inclusive term designed to exclude those who do not belong to a particular left-wing cause. Bernardi said it beggars belief that the ABC would honour such a discredited and dangerous political ideology. And George Christensen said, it seems at ABC headquarters in Ultimo, they are all bloody commos. Obviously, that is bizarre and ridiculous, OK? Everyone, the ABC is not overrun by communists. Bad news, comrades, they're onto us. I knew he shouldn't have put that line in the radio promo. I told you, Gary, this is all your fault. Now, come closer, all right? Listen, I think I threw them off the scent for now, but for now, just stick to the plan, OK? Bananas in pyjamas, keep agitating the proletariat. Great work. Annabelle Crabb, good work infiltrating Parliament House and poisoning the capitalist dogs in the ruling class. Triple J, lift your game, not good enough. Charlie Pickering, keep telling people to kill policemen. That's good stuff. Soon, comrades, soon. Love you, bye. OK. Why are you clapping? I don't know why you're clapping. Nothing just happened. It's all fine. Nailed it. Speaking of Cory Bernardi and Australia Day and the ABC, yesterday the Senator announced that his party, the Australian Conservatives, would not be standing for Triple J's recent decision to move their Hottest 100 from January the 26th. In his weekly newsletter, a weekly dose of common sense that we all definitely subscribe to, Bernardi describes the decision as complete BS. Cory, language, please. In response, Cory's announced his own alternative countdown of Australian songs to listen to on Australia Day, which he's compiled into a Spotify playlist. Oh, Dad! Stop trying to use Spotify. You suck. It's the worst. You suck. God. The playlist is amazing, my friends. It includes classic Australian tunes like K-San by Cold Chisel, Horses by Daryl Braithwaite, and of course, everyone's favourite, Planets by Short Stack. Yes, let us all come together and celebrate what's great about Australia, Short Stack. What will I be voting for, I hear you ask? Why? Regurgitators, I've sucked a lot of cock to get where I am, of course. I know, it just speaks to me. Now, Cory's named the countdown the AC 100, presumably named after the Australian Conservatives. But he absolutely insists that this has nothing to do with politics.
I'm not using it for my party or my views. I put it on a playlist on Spotify.
Yes, the playlist is not at all political. It's just a coincidence that the Australian Conservatives logo is on the promotional material. Someone must have tripped and put it in there. What a crazy coincidence. This is how I'll be dancing while I listen to the playlist. Now, Cory's version of the Hottest 100 includes only music from Australian artists. The only problem is, some of those Australian artists hate Cory Bernardi. Savage Garden's To the Moon and Back is on the list, which is insane. My money was on Break Me, Shake Me. And Savage Garden's... Oh, a few fans in, OK. Savage Garden frontman Darren Hayes is not happy about this at all. I can't imagine why married homosexual Darren Hayes wouldn't like Cory Bernardi, but people are weird, you know? Hayes tweeted at Bernardi that he didn't have permission to use his music in the playlist. Unfortunately for Darren, Cory kind of does, because it's on Spotify, and that's how Spotify works. Spotify was also pissed off and released a statement condemning the playlist. Sorry, Spotify, that's how Spotify works. Someone should really fix that. But some of the selections on the list are really bizarre if you're coming at it from a conservative point of view. Peter Allen is on there, the Hilltop Hoods, Paul Kelly. It's very weird. Luckily, Australian Conservative Party member Greg Larson is guest hosting Rage this weekend to explain why certain songs ended up on the list. Take a look.
Hi cats, I'm Greg from the Australian Conservatives, and I'm about to take you on a sonic journey through our eclectic musical tastes. This is the music of the Australian Conservative 100. Let's begin. That was Kate Sobrano with Bedroom Eyes. What a perfect song to make love to your heterosexual partner on a biannual basis.
That I was born to try, I've learned to love.
Born to Try is a real Conservative anthem. You got to listen to the words between the lyrics. Born to try and stop gay marriage. Born to love as long as it's between a man and a woman. Born to... the third one, I think it's about immigrants.
What about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough now, all myself.
Shannon Noel, What About Me? No surprise there, really. You'd expect that one from us.
Right. I should have known you were bad news from the bad boy demeanor and the tattoos. Cause most guys only want one thing, but I'm undecided trying to figure out if that's you.
Iggy Azalea, she's on the list. Not 100% sure who she is, but her name sounds like Australia. So, good on her. You might be surprised that we've included this Paul Kelly song on the list because of its Indigenous land rights message, which I'm not particularly fond of. But it does have a deeper message about the importance of superannuation.
Little things, big things grow from little things, big things grow.
A lot of people accuse us Conservatives of being boring. Well, you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a little boring, and I'm proud of that label. And that's why we've included the most boring song in the world.
Gonna take it for a ride on a jet plane. Gonna take it for a ride.
Well, there you have it. I've been Greg from the Australian Conservatives, and this has been Rage. It's one of the first shows I'd like to see cut when we get rid of the ABC funding.
Let's talk about boys' clubs. Boys' clubs. They're sleazy hovels dripping with misogyny, drenched in sexism, reeking of balls. And gaming has to be one of the worst boys' clubs of all. I don't know anything about gaming, but I stand by my words. For this very special Tonightly Investigates Lee, we sent reporter Greta Lee Jackson undercover to a gaming conference to prove me right.
Video gaming. Everybody knows it's for losers who hate women. These people said so.
They're really sweaty, they love Cheetos.
Maybe a bit overweight.
People who don't shower very much.
I don't have a television, does that help?
But sometimes one-sided sweeping generalisations are not enough to show the truth. So I went undercover at a video gaming convention to prove once and for all that all gamers are vagina-hating trolls.
Video gaming, by far the most misogynistic community in the world, where women aren't allowed. These may look like women, but don't be fooled. They are almost definitely men in cosplay. Terrified at being told to get back in the kitchen at any moment, I somehow built up the courage to talk to one of these purveyors of toxic masculinity. What I discovered was unsettling.
I know plenty of gaming girls, they're like really annoying because some of them are better than me.
On the surface, that seemed to be a pleasant exchange. But who knows what terrifying misogynistic violence was bubbling underneath. Unfortunately, we'll never find out. We believe he was paying that woman to stand next to him to make him seem less threatening. Getting deeper into this throng of festering patriarchy, masquerading as a really inclusive crowd, it didn't take me long to find another woman-hating troll.
It's a great community.
Lies.
Most of my friends that are women and all play games.
Shut up. As the day wore on, I discovered the true problem at the heart of this sexist cesspit. my cameraman. He was not capturing the heaps of misogyno footage I needed to support my unsubstantiated claims. I still had not answered the big question. Where was I going to find enough outrage-causing clickbait to make a viral video for the slacktivist feminazis? And then, a breakthrough. That's right, a video game about dicks. Look at this video gaming conference flagrantly cashing in on the Me Too movement. Even the games force you to touch their exposed penis. Yes, in 2018, even the games themselves are sex pests. Welcome to the future.
So there you have it. This report was right from the start. I knew it, I win. All gamers are big, fat, mean, smelly men, despite everything you just saw. Case closed. I'm Greta Lee Jackson, reporting for Tonightly Investigatesly.
My guest tonight is drag queen and accidental activist who was a massive force in Ireland's referendum on same-sex marriage in 2015.
Any soccer hooligan, any fascist, any murderer, any sex offender can get married, but you cannot. Let the gays get married and the sky will fall down. Get behind the campaign, do your bit.
Look at me. I'm dressed as a giant woman. I'm the gayest thing in the world.
Wow, that's pretty gay. Would you please welcome Panti Bliss, everybody? Hello, Panti.
Of course, it turns out I'm only the second gayest thing in the world.
I think you're gayer than I am.
Oh, come on, Power Bottom.
You can't, it's a family show, Panti.
9 p.m. I was told. Granny asked the kids what that was about.
You can say whatever the fuck you want. Now, you look amazing, and I love drag. I love your work. I love drag queens generally. But whenever I look at them, I think, God, that looks exhausting.
Well, you see, it is exhausting, but a drag queen's job really is to look like you're always having fun. I mean, that is what we are paid for often.
Yeah.
And certainly younger drag queens who get paid to be in nightclubs and all that, you are literally paid to look like you're enjoying yourself, whether you are or not. You know, and when you're 23, being paid, you know, just to get drunk and run around and be the livest of the party, like, what 23-year-old wouldn't want that job? So.
But how long are we talking? How long does it take you to look like this?
I like to have 2 hours.
Oh.
And then I can sort of vaguely relax.
Most days of your life, of your year, you would be.
Well, I'm in drag a lot, and like today, you're the first of 3, you know, things, and it's a weird thing. You go into like a Zen moment because obviously I have painted this face, and you know.
You can't
thousands upon thousands of times. Well, it's only just a little lippy, I know, but you just sort of like, I sit down and think, oh God, I'm going to be here for the next 2 hours. But then you kind of zone out or something, and then the next thing you know, the 2 hours have gone and you're late.
And is it rude to ask? Is it rude to ask a drag queen about the tucking process? I can't not think about.
No, because I know you all want to know that, and I am an open book.
Okay. Tucking is the hiding of the male.
Well, you see, here's the thing, because, you know, I come from a country where we need to wear clothes to survive. And you come from a country where you need to wear as little clothes as possible to survive.
Right.
And so Australian drag queens are always like wearing these kind of bikini things. Like if you look at Courtney Act, a great friend of mine, one of the most wonderful and delightful and sincerest people I know. Like Courtney's always wandering around in barely nothing. So in that case, your toque needs to be excellent. Whereas if you're in Ireland, you know, I am.
It's so cold that it kind of tucks itself.
So, like I'm half foam rubber.
Okay.
I am like literally half foam rubber.
Oh
so,
my God.
So that you know, for me, my toque can be a little more comfortable.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good to know. Now, speaking of Ireland, Australia and Ireland are the only countries in the world that have put the issue of marriage equality to the people.
Yes.
You were heavily involved in the referendum in Ireland.
And you want the benefit of my wisdom now.
Well, what are you? Is Ireland going to hell now? What kind of dystopia can we, Australia, now that we have legalised gay marriage, look forward to?
Well, I'll tell you, it is interesting because we are in a very unique position, which is we are the only 2 countries in the world that know to a percentage point what the rest of the country thinks about us.
Yes.
And we did it by referendum because we needed to change our constitution. And so ours actually meant something, unlike your bullshit postal vote.
Hey!
Which meant nothing.
No! You're all traitors! Bloody comrades, shut up!
You could have just given me the $22 million, and you know, and at least you would have gotten a show out of it. So ours meant, but
And we beat you by 1 percentage point. We were 63%,
Well,
you were
really
10,
happy for
62.
you, yeah.
But I will tell you this. In Ireland now, 3 years afterwards, and I'll tell you, I know we don't have much time, so briefly a couple of things. One is, if we reran it today in Ireland, the vote would be much higher in favour. Because, you know, at the last minute, people go into a voting booth, they've just heard somebody like Corey Bernardi or some other idiot say something horrible, you know, about gay people, and they think, oh, you know, what if he's right? So they just vote to keep things the same, because that's safer. 3 years after the vote in Ireland, everybody realises, oh my God, nothing's happened. Everything's exactly the same, you know. So the vote would be much higher. But I will say this also, and I hope you have the same experience here. I thought before the vote that what would happen is the vote would happen, and then the next day gay people could get married, but otherwise nothing else would change. But actually, it was much more significant than that, because what it did was, for the LGBTI community in Ireland, it gave us a real sense of security in our place in Irish society. And we know exactly what the rest of the country thinks about us, and it turns out they're fine with us. Now, I might have suspected that before, but I didn't know it. But now I do know it. And that has sort of liberated queers in Ireland to just be much more open. You see people holding hands all the time in the street now and that kind of thing in a way that you didn't before. Yeah. And the other thing is, I think for everybody in the country, they think of it as a good thing. They look back on it as a good day. They think, and for the first time, maybe Irish people saw themselves as progressive or something. Yeah. So it has actually been sort of transformative for Irish people. Well, and I hope that you guys have the experience. I'm sure you will have the same experience. And the other thing, of course, for us is we're locked in. The conversation's over. It's in our constitution. We are, they can't undo that without another. You guys, on the other hand, like you just need some, idiots to come into power, and they could actually.
You've got 1,200 same-sex couples have been married since the decision, and you have an openly gay prime minister now too.
We do. So we're going to go gay. We're going to go all the way.
And you're to thank for that, Panti Bliss, everyone. Panti Bliss is in the country in Australia performing in her show Riot, which is amazing, a show which mixes everything from drag to circus. And if you're in Sydney, you can catch it at the Sydney Festival as it runs until January the 28th.
And then we're going to Melbourne. We're going to Melbourne in 2 weeks then. I should know the dates, I don't, but roughly the first 2 weeks of February in the Melbourne Arts Centre.
Oh, sweet. Okay, go see that if you get a chance. Please thank, ladies and gentlemen, Panti Bliss. Thank you, Panti. Lovely to see you. And that's our show. The Best of Fresh Blood 2017 is up next tomorrow night. The Best of show kicks off at 9:10. We'll see you then. Good night, everyone.